All right. Yo, welcome to the Inscripts Podcast. My name is Devin Adams, CEO, head coach. I'm determined to inspire. I'm here with Big Tree, a.k.a. Professor Hawk. All the nicknames. Y'all already know all the nicknames. If y'all don't, go back to all the podcasts, some of the earlier ones when we had
20 nicknames.
About 20 nicknames. But
whatever.
Me and Big Tree, we've been talking for a while now, personally. But real quick, everything okay with you? How are you doing out there?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm at my quiet place now. Everybody.
You almost had a win for the week after you got that. You almost built the.
Almost had a win for the
basketball, week. The basketball hoop until you had to take it down because of the rain.
And the actual wind took it from me. So I'm out here. I get up this morning. I've been looking because all this quarantine stuff. I had to slow down my training of my sons and trying to get physical activity myself since they've taken the basketball hoops down.
Yeah.
So I'm looking. I get this alert. There's a hoop available at Walmart. I'm like, wait a minute. I go to Walmart. It's there all nice waiting for me. Nobody nowhere near me. Everybody keeping it 6 feet of distance. I get my little cart. I wheel it out, pay for it, bring it home, start putting it together. The sun is shining. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a good day. I'm going to win this.
And it was nice outside, too.
Huh?
It was nice outside. It wasn't that bad.
Was nice. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. By the time I put this together, it'll be the afternoon. We're going to shoot some hoops. We're going to work out. All of a sudden, started getting a little windy. I could deal with that. But then started getting cloudy, started raining.
Monsoon.
And then boxes started getting wet. And then the instructions started blowing away in the wind. Then I'm trying to hold this thing, which they tell me on the third, fourth page of the instructions, I need 2 people to assemble this John, and it's only me. I'm just
shout out to Little Pat.
Yeah, Tim Jr. tried to help me, but he couldn't hold that. It was too much for him. So I had to take everything in the house while it was raining so it wouldn't get wet and start all over again. So almost won until
almost. But I'm glad everybody's doing well. Glad everybody's safe where you are personally.
Yeah.
And like I said, this I feel like this is just like an emergency podcast. Like I'm gonna put this as emergency.
All right.
Because the coronavirus is going all over the place. We already know that. We know that they claim it's flatlining a little bit, and that's fantastic in some places. And like in New York, they said they see a trend of flatlining. If they recognize that, cool. I'll acknowledge their recognizing of it. Yeah. That's cool. That's a blessing. I just saw somebody that I know talk about the hospitals that are in Philadelphia and how they're wheeling out bodies.
Yes.
Ooh.
In droves. They can't contain them in the morgue. They run out of the room in the morgue.
And then I was just thinking about, I saw that, and like I said, I don't have all the numbers in front of me. Like I said, this is an impromptu, but it is a bit lacking of information, like data.
Yeah.
They did say in these distressed areas or these black communities, like in Chicago, Detroit, even Louisiana, the next hotbed, they say maybe Philly and D.C., where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
They said like 70 out of the cases of the people getting admitted into the hospitals, I think, and please correct me, y'all can feel free to send it to us on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, if y'all got the exact number, sure.
Or instantgrits@gmail. Yo, 70% of the people being admitted into these coronavirus, like they have it and they're in the hospitals is African American, right?
Yeah, in the higher populated cities. Yeah, yes. That's what's being said.
But then the point that 50% was men. And then they said like something like 50% of the men that go to ICU are dying now.
Yeah.
Based off of the stacking of the pandemic, which is what? Coronavirus, COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You stack that, and I'm giving a visual because this is going to be on YouTube, the pandemic on top of the systematic.
Sure. Of course.
Irresponsibilities of slavery, of hypertension, right?
Yep. High blood pressure, stress.
Stress, inflammation, cardiac disease. Like those are epidemics for our community.
Right.
So once you start that pandemic, if on our screen you see where it says Devin Adams on my screen, or do you see the
right there?
If that's this, and then the pandemic goes like this, we're dead.
Yeah, it's over.
The pandemic is just like the thing that steps on the person's throat. That's like the finisher for
a lot of our black men. That breaks the camel's back right there.
And I'm just kind of crazy because it's just like, you know how people say like ammonia, or they say AIDS doesn't kill you or something. Please correct me.
I just heard that this morning.
AIDS doesn't kill you. it weakens your immune system, and then when you get sick or something like that,
Right.
or
Yeah. It's like
that kills you.
you never heard anybody die of AIDS. This is what they'll say. You never heard anybody die of AIDS. You hear they die from complications. It's because while they were in the hospital dealing with the effects that it has on the body and the weakening of the immune system, they contract pneumonia or they catch a cold.
Okay.
Or get a flu.
Exactly.
So it's not that the flu that they die from, it's not the pneumonia necessarily they die from, it's the complications that their compromised, immune system allowed them to be taken out by something that they normally would be able to heal from.
So. But you pissed me off though, Patton, in a good way, because like I said, our conversation that we were talking about yesterday was on my mind. It was on my mind the entire day because it wasn't even a relationship in my mind until I read that stack, and then it became a correlation between slavery. We already know the trauma behind that. Like we've studied that, but then the lack of access, how they try to keep us away from information, right?
Sure.
But then how that has already turned us in like over seasoning our vegetables or using parts of this animal that we don't need to be digesting, or just those things that have articulated to where we are now. And we think it's normal, but it's really like, yo, some of that stuff that we've been digesting, the sodium, the salt, the neighborhoods we're in, the nutrition, the access to foods we have.
Access.
This is just a little, I'm going to say little, but this is just something now that's just further killing us. This pandemic, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm just hurt by that. I'm hurt because now slavery just means lack of access to me when it comes to what? Banking?
I mean,
knowledge,
you can pick something when it comes to access to anything, because if you don't know something and I do, then I always have an advantage. Think about even basketball, right? And us playing. If I know your weaknesses, if I know your IQ, then I'm going to use all of your weaknesses to my advantage. If I know I have information about somebody that you don't, maybe a player, maybe a matchup, I'm going to exploit it for as long as I can and keep doing it.
You just said
as long as I can.
As long as you can.
Yeah.
How does somebody have a 400-year start on us? Like, once you think
exactly.
Like, is it 400 years now or even longer? 450?
I mean, it's probably it's probably longer. It's probably longer.
Yo, do you like that's your kids, their kids, their kids, their kids, their kids, their.
That's why we gotta break that cycle.
Bro, that's mind-boggling.
Yep. As long as you can, as long as I can get you to believe that this is normal, that this is acceptable, that this is the way it's supposed to be. And then when you stop believing that and you're starting to question that, then I'm going to turn you against your own. So that's a constant fight so that you don't pay attention to the real enemy or the real source of the problem. And that's, without getting all deep into it, that's kind of what you're seeing today. Because for when we were talking about what's going on in the news with the pandemic and the numbers and the disproportionate, number of African Americans that are dying and all of that.
Yeah, they say about to
go. But then when you watch the news, you see when you see them talking about urging people to stay at home.
Yeah.
The images that you see.
Yeah.
The images that you see are of African Americans having block parties, doing this, doing it. Now, while that is dumb and we are doing it, I saw something today on Facebook that said, it's not just African Americans that are doing this. And it was like a whole bunch of joggers and walkers in Central Park. Okay. Like social distancing did not, and that's New York, which is, considered now the epicenter of the virus and all of that. So, I mean, it's stuff like that too. The media plays a role into a lot of that stuff too. And
they shut the wharf down in DC. The wharf is like a big spot where people get like seafood and stuff like that. They said there was too many people around there, so they shut that down.
Yeah.
And then shout out to Marissa, who you know Marissa.
Yeah.
She sent me an article saying like how
Valkyrie, right?
Yeah, Valkyrie. She sent me an article saying like they're still congregating for like brunches and restaurants here, but it wasn't It wasn't.
It's not smart. It's not smart.
Look at me. Look at me, Patton. It wasn't this.
It wasn't this.
It wasn't this. It was
right. It was.
It didn't shut that establishment down.
And see, again, that's.
But that's even that's anti-racist,
right? That feeds
because shut the black stuff down. Cool, save us. But they letting these other people that are congregating, and it was probably just not all white people.
Why? And what's the connotation? What's the underlying? Well,
that gets interesting.
If you the inner cities aren't clean. They're unkept, and it's easy for germs, and people are on top of each other, and they won't wear masks, and they won't do this, and they won't do that, and so it's a lot of, even watching the news, you got to watch for the hidden indicators of racism, because it's all it's all in there. It's all in there. I mean, I don't know I know those are the numbers that they're reporting, but I know this, like you said, this disease is affecting us for all of the reasons that you stated. It's the stack. I mean, black men, like we can't forget that we only, and I'm not even gonna say remove, but 2 years ago we were talking about the whole Black Lives Matter with all of us being hunted down in the street. That trauma is still not going anywhere. And now this is a different type of hunt. This is, now is, but see, here's where it gets crazy. The reason they're deploying the National Guard is to keep people in the house. Where are they deploying the National Guards?
You tell me.
Not in the suburbs. I haven't seen no National Guard troops in the suburbs. They deploying them to the major cities. Yeah. Where the majority of us are.
Said something. Houston about to be the next hot spot too.
Come on, man. It's like, it's not. It's a lot of underlying stuff, and nobody will probably ever say it overtly.
They won't say it overtly, but stay home, bro. Number one.
I mean, that's the bottom line. At least until and nobody. And I was just talking to some of the people I work with today, and talking because Pennsylvania's now shut the schools down for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And hearing what everybody is saying in terms of the medical experts or whoever who really don't.
They have the first forefront to the knowledge that
they're limited, right? They're limited in terms of what's going to happen and knowing what's going to happen. We're not even to the middle of this thing yet. And so people are like, well, okay, they shutting the schools down. What's that's going to be?
Yeah, bro, I tell everybody, and I could be completely wrong, Pat, and I just tell everybody, we 4 weeks behind everybody. We might even be 6 weeks behind everybody.
I think we're several months. I think we're several months behind.
And then I just do times. If you say several months, I'm going to say we 2 months behind. I just say times 8 that. And when I do times 8 versus how many people they say have it, how many people are asymptomatic? How many people... You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, probably.
You may not be showing symptoms now, but, you go out and come in contact with somebody after the 14-day quarantine, and then
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 1.6 million people already have come in contact with this thing.
Right.
And I just don't understand. Initially, it's just so funny, Pat, because remember 3 or 4 weeks ago, which isn't a long time ago, they were talking about African Americans were, I'm going to use a strong word here, impervious to it.
That's what they were saying.
Yeah, but now guess what's happening now? Guess what they say now? Now they say it's the main one.
Right. So
that's crazy.
So you're getting it's almost like media genocide. Because
it's media genocide, but it's also like they don't know what's going on either.
Nah, they don't.
It's perpetual, constant state of information.
Say that, but of course, what they put out there is what people are going to believe.
Yeah.
So that's it. If I can control what you think, I can control. I mean, they've been doing it to us for years, but now it's just like really in your face. Like
it's there, bro.
If I can control the narrative, you're just gonna go along with the narrative.
But I was sick, man. I was sick when I heard it. I was sick in general because, there's some churches that are still open.
That I do not understand.
And like I said, this is our podcast. This is our platform.
Sure.
We're both believers. You can believe whatever you want to believe in. I'm a Christian. I read the Bible.
Who am I? 100%.
but I've also read other forms of religions. I just went on this
Mhm.
spiritual journey like 2 years ago, where I
Mhm.
was just grasping information from all over the place, right?
Yeah,
However, God gives us wisdom.
absolutely.
So I'm also just like, yo, I don't, oof. And
There's
that's
so
why I'm just
many
like, yo,
scriptures that
please.
basically say, without quoting the exact King James translation, "Don't be dumb."
Yeah. And
Like,
like I
just
said,
because you're a Christian, don't be stupid. Like, be wise as a serpent, harmless. Okay, well, I'm still gonna go to church because God can heal me. Sure, He can, but don't be stupid though. Like, why would you be dumb?
like he gives wisdom and science. And all I am saying is if people who study it are saying, wash your hands and stay at home, they're not overcomplicating this thing. If
Mhm.
this disease, which we thought was just like a minor sign of the flu, is now still out there and they're showing that wave patterns can go. Like, remember I showed you that article that I read this morning about
Yeah,
in China? Yeah, things are calming down in China, but they said,
calming down.
yes, calming down. But they also said, in contrary, the asymptomatic, the people that were asymptomatic
That's the one.
did not build up antibodies against it,
Exactly. So
which
they can
means that
still
they
be
can.
effective.
So now I was reading something today talking about
And
how
and
they
off of
lay
that, that's
dormant.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're not even to the middle of it yet. You have all these people stay home and until the summertime, and then what happens when you say, okay, everybody can come out now? Everybody is going to come out, and if you were asymptomatic or you beat it, or you might even go into the hospital and recover from it after a
Yeah,
14-day
but,
quarantine,
but
now you will
even
be exposed to it a whole new strand all over again.
but that's part of the blue zone lifestyle. Like when I made my checklist of everything I'm gonna do every day,
Mm-hmm.
blue zones. That's a broad scheme of how these people live to be 100 years old. What do
Yeah.
they do to be 100 years old?
Mm-hmm. Lots of scenarios.
Community. Yeah, but community was one of the major ones. We're
Oh,
not
wow.
supposed to be in isolation, right?
That's
Yeah.
true.
It's dangerous for us because we're social creatures. We're built on relationships and curiosity. I
Yep.
never shared that with anybody, but as humans, we're based off of relationships, and our curiosity keeps
True.
us going.
Yep.
To your point, you just said once this joint breaks out and they give us the green light, we are going to be out there because that's what are we based off of? Relationship,
Oh my God, we having a party. I'm coming over your house.
curiosity.
Right. Of course.
And that means that everybody's just gonna, and so that means if one person still has it, they still might be in contact with now a population of people, a coagulation of people in this pocket, in this pocket. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen. I don't
I
want to
do
speak that
too.
into existence, but I am speaking
I do
truth
too. I do too. And
of,
I do too
of
for
how humans are, bro.
several reasons. Several reasons.
Like
One.
I'm gonna come visit you. We're gonna dap up.
Oh, of
We're gonna
course.
shoot some hoops.
We got
But
work
it's
to
also
do
gonna be
here.
like, yo, bro, we supposed to be out here. Like, are we supposed to be shooting hoops?
And to me that's sad because again, and I was just talking to another one of my coworkers about 20 minutes ago, and she was saying, well, hopefully when things get back to normal. And I said, listen, I
Oh,
hate to say it to you this way, but I'd rather be truthful. Life as we knew it, and I'm speaking of it in past tense because it's already gone. Life as we knew it is pretty much over.
and guess what else is over? What was it? 6.6 million people now potentially are in the unemployment thing, which is what 30 to 31% of our nation, which is worse than the Great Depression, which was at what 25%.
Yeah, this is going to be worse than the Great Depression. Mm-hmm.
Job security has a whole.
Done.
I mean, now the thing is, you and me were talking about this what maybe 10 to 12 months ago, talking about how fickle the
Yeah,
term is. We believe in having jobs, but we also believe in having your work. We have
right.
a job, but we have our work to do. Do your work at night. That's why we're up reading. That's why we're studying. And then
Yep.
your work is going to retire you from your job.
Exactly. That's how it should always be.
But job security, bro.
There's no such thing
That
anymore.
whole what was that? What's the era before millennials, baby
Uh,
boomers,
with Generation X is
Generation X,
millennials.
baby boomers? That whole baby boomer era.
Well, the baby boomer era was go to school, coming out of the baby boomer, go to school, get a good job, uh, go to college, whatever.
Get a good
Retire
job.
after
Get a
40
good
years of working, and then that's it.
bro.
That's been fading away and kind of gone. In one fell swoop, within a month, it just totally disappeared.
Bro, I have some super smart friends of mine who are now saying, "Oh, our job is forcing us." Now, once that happens, that's not job security. Once you say those words, my job is forcing me to take 2 weeks off. They're not going to pay us, or they let go of a few people because they said we don't need you. Like, how is that security?
There is none.
The only security you have is what? And this is not too. I'm gonna go in and say it. The only security we ever have is for us to do what we're put here to do.
That's it.
And then that will create a lane for us to be secure and drive. You know what I mean? But we're so fickle and quit so much that we never commit.
We quit so much.
We're committed to our emotion, bro. You know how
right. We're emotional. We want stuff easy.
We let a temporary emotion take us away from our long-term purpose.
Sure.
And we don't have it all figured out. You and me don't. We're not perfect out here.
Well, that's the whole journey, though. That's the whole journey. Like, if you finding out what you don't know, like you said, we're motivated by curiosity and the whole socialization piece. If I don't know something, I'm a hunt to find it. And that hunt is what keeps me up at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get answers to this and figure out this and Google this and do this and do. So if that's what life is supposed to be, instead of you being just a robot.
Yeah, the hunt is the gratification.
Hamster wheel, like, then you're not living. You just here existing. I can't even say surviving because you're not even, putting forth your potential into half of what you should be or could be. So,
and this is not a knock on anybody. Like I said, I'm a teacher.
No, of course not.
What? I also know that I'm supposed to be a teacher now. I don't run from that. We're supposed to be educators.
Yeah.
When we're at 6 point something million people filing for unemployment, that's what's so.
Here's the other thing, and I know you've been hearing me say this from the beginning. Unfortunately, this whole thing really comes down to economics.
Ooh, the economic infrastructure of a lot of things, right?
Because it's such a level playing field now. So much level. Like,
death levels a lot of things, and I don't want to say that too aggressive.
Very sobering. It's very sobering. And right, and to your point, this is affecting celebrities. We've had a whole number of celebrities just pass away within like a 2-week period. Like, craziness. Like, what is going on?
Barbers,
everybody. Like,
that is tears right there.
Yeah, and so I mean, from the real wealthy to the government, some government officials, former government officials, singers, and Fortune 500 company people, down to the regular everyday. So this is something that's hitting everybody. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter your social economic status. So to that end is leveling the playing field. Now, the economic impacts is pretty much going to have everybody coming out of this, I don't want to say even, but the entire playing field will be much more level than it ever was.
If this was a Super Nintendo console, it'd be an easy reset button, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Reset.
That's what it is.
And it's a reset for a lot of people. Some of the rich people have money stocked here. They have things off there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They got nest eggs and
that goes into your point, what you were talking about with them having a head start or them just having more knowledge than us.
You want to go that route? You want to go that road?
I'm just saying that's what that goes to. But
okay, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, regular people, this is our time not to be bored. This is our time to think something.
I agree. This would be
learn how to use gloves because we don't know how to fucking use the gloves.
Yeah, that's true too. This would be a perfect time for whatever the industry. Yeah, this would be the perfect time to educate yourselves on something. Find out what your passions are. Find out what you're passionate about, what you're good at. If you're able to do that, turn that into a monetary way of life for yourself.
I heard one youngin say we all have $1 million idea we never capitalize on.
Sure, graveyard is the richest place on earth.
Exactly. Boom.
So
go to die.
Now's the time, because most people say, "Oh, I don't have enough time." Say, "Oh, if I only had a couple, if I had a couple minutes to sit down and think, and my kids would." We got all the time in the world. and not
It's
even
hard, but you do have time. You have 5 kids. And you're still making time.
First time you ever said that. This is the first time you ever.
I know, because we're talking serious now, but so look at these things. What are these?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, look, y'all might know this. This is called cross-contamination. I don't know what we've been using these for.
It is.
But these are your hands.
Yes.
You touch things with the glove isn't repellent.
At all.
It ain't like somebody need to make it. I'll do it. I'll figure it out.
Yep.
But okay, hey, I'm on the phone. I'm touching it with my gloves. Okay, that's cool. Hey, I'm in the supermarket. Haflui, plow.
Mm-hmm.
They sneeze on these herbs or whatever. I touch the herbs with my glove. Oh, okay. Cool. I put those down. I pick up my phone again. Now my phone has Roro all on it.
There you go.
I didn't put that in my pocket. I didn't touch something else. You know what I mean? And I go like this.
You want to know the dumbest thing I've seen?
Besides people not knowing how to use gloves and cross-contamination?
Even dumber than that.
Hold on. And this, like, take the joints off. And you know, it's a certain way to take it. Like, just take them joints off. And even if you take them off, throw them in the trash can, not outside.
Yep. And wash your hands after.
Wash your hands. Like this is Roro.
Yeah, all day.
You can't keep on the same pair. That's why doctors scrub up. They put them on. They walk out the room. They take them off. They like, what are we doing with these things if we're not going to change them or at least wash our hands? Like, Pat, you know what I mean? With cross-contamination, we touch multiple things.
Listen,
this is accumulation.
What I'm saying that's retarded, and I noticed it today.
The most disrespectful thing I can do now is throw this in your face, Patton. If I threw this in your face, you might beat me up. You might beat me the fuck up because you're gonna be like, "Yo, you threw the Roro gloves in my face," because you actually know what these have on them.
Yeah, you trying to get me, bro? Like for real?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. What's another thing you said real quick?
Or you know when you go to the store and you know the little machine, the checkout machine where you put your card in and all of that, you punch in your numbers and all of that, right? You're chipping, right? They have plastic over it. Like see-through saran wrappish type of plastic over it.
Who's making these decisions? Bro, like
if everybody is touching that same damn kiosk.
I don't get this. I get the shields. Like I get like the cashier.
The shields.
I get the shields. I get the shields. I don't get.
I don't see.
It's not surface protection.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the cesspool of the virus right there at a pad. Like,
and to a certain degree, I don't get the shields because if I sneeze, air it's going around. It's not going to stop right there because you got that shield up. Like what the hell?
At least you didn't get the full blast of the whole thing. You know what I mean? You didn't get the full blast,
bro.
Like somebody sneezed in my face, and I felt the full blast hit me. The flubber.
Yeah, now that's something different. That's a fighting situation.
I was about to beat him the fuck up. I'm sorry for cussing so much, but I was. I'm about to say.
Okay, I'd have been pissed off too, bro. So I get it, man. But, it's just. I read a book in college on hysteria.
Okay.
My senior year, it was a senior seminar, and it was talking about how you control people, and you control people with hysteria. If you can introduce an element of hysteria, you'll watch people behave in ways that they haven't before, which is part of what I think you're seeing here now. This disease is like super serious and everybody needs to take it serious. But I think the media and certain elected officials have created a sense of hysteria.
Sure, that's easy.
Because within weeks, your entire way of life has just changed.
Yeah.
Like people are now, like I was in Walmart today, like I said, getting a basketball court, and where you would just normally walk past a person and maybe smile, maybe say hello, people are walking with carts now, just stopping.
Bro,
who's gonna go by first?
I had people, they armed me up. They thought that they was about to jump me. I was walking this way, just like this. There's about 20 feet away. They stopped walking. I'm like this. I got my mask on and everything, my Nike mask. Shout out to my young Kara Henry and her family. They made it for me. She played in our gym. She played basketball with us.
Okay.
I'm walking this way. They was like this. All three of them. They stopped. And they armed up. They said, oh. I was just like,
wow.
I said, this is me? I said, I don't got the Rona. And I said, I ain't got row. I got the joint on my face. They armed up when they saw me. So I was like, damn it. But yeah, bro, it's getting like that. They walk right by me, just like,
Oh man, and it's but see, it's.
But hey, it's real out here, man. Everybody dying now.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not just like old age, young age. We're learning.
That's what they were saying originally.
Every week we're learning something new about this joint. Man.
Yeah, that's why that's what I'm saying. It's nowhere near for them to even project the summertime for a flattening is irresponsible. Flattening
irresponsible and falsified assumption to make. You can't do that.
Yeah. There's no way to do that.
But they are doing it for hysteria purposes, trying to keep everybody calm and give them some type of. You told me that, like they said, somebody told me they're gonna keep this at like a 2-weeky type of thing because they don't want everybody to freak out.
Yeah, I told you that.
Yeah, they say every 2 weeks.
Now, and that's why not saying that, but I knew this was planned. I knew the end of the school year was what it was. Once they gave out the laptops to everybody, that was it. It was over. The schools are continuing, well, at least in Philly. I mean, I live in Delaware, but in Delaware, they're doing it too. They didn't give out laptops, but they're continuing to feed students and stuff like that. So, I mean, you kind of know that it's April, which there's no way, and there's no end in sight to this thing. You might as well call it.
So, we'll get ready. We'll end on this note. This virus, this pandemic, has exposed gaps in our system, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Right. Number one, health-wise, obesity, cholesterol, hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, inflammation, being highly acidic, oxidative stress, all of that, right? Because now that is the thing that's killing us with the pandemic, putting the health squeeze on people that suffer from it the most, mainly people that look like you and me.
Yep.
And then when men go in, if they go into the ICU, 50-50 shot there.
Well, see, and that's and the part that's probably not going to get talked about, which is pretty sad, is we're also probably the one of the most stressed populations out there. And now with this, not being able to work, not being able to provide for your family, not knowing what's going on, this introduces a different level of stress. And on top of that, now you have that level of stress of not being able to provide, not knowing what's going on, along with, getting something that you would typically just, drink some orange juice, take a warm bath and lay down for, a day or two and you're fine.
Oh.
Now this is taking people out of here.
It's taking me out here, which means that we need to wake up to a whole nother construct of nutritional values.
True.
Like I said, this pandemic is waking everybody up to how we should be cooking, how we should be eating.
Yes.
But now, guess what? This pandemic is putting a strain on what I said before. Mm-hmm. This country isn't even about this. What is it? The stimulus stimulating the economy. That's the wrong word now. We have to support the economy now, and now we have to also. This pandemic is now like gentrification in these areas and these Black communities. There's gaps there. Healthcare, there's gaps. There's health in the economic infrastructure of how we operate as a country now. Mm-hmm. Because the United States is just a business. Like you told me that.
Oh, don't give me it. You got me wanting to go down like 5 different lanes. Yes, the United States is a business. Definitely it. Runs, operates. That exact, like anytime that when your primary objective is you put out that, the safety and the well-being of the American people is the most important thing, but you already talk about a stimulus that includes all these different industries and, we got to bail out the banks and we got to bail out the automotives and we got to give this and that. See, Isaiah doesn't care. You saying good night? Good night, son.
Good night, Isaiah, man.
It's basically kind of like a pimp mentality.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you better go get my money. I'm gonna give you this so you can stay afloat because I need my money.
Yeah.
Like, wow, okay, that's what you worry about. You worry about bailing them out. What about now all of these 6 million people that got to file for unemployment? I'm sure the money that you gave those companies and those banks and all of them who have insurance policies against stuff like this anyway, who will be fine.
Yeah.
Because banks don't have bank accounts. They have insurance policies in case something happens. So why are you giving them money? What they need money for?
So, like, hold on.
Trade against it more. See, that's what I'm saying.
I know. That's why I'm laughing.
You don't want me to get started, man.
But I will say that, like,
it's just
this pandemic.
It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up and see things for how they really are.
It's strangling the socio-economic infrastructure too. Going back to slavery, going back to what they saw as ads and what they thought we was worth, going back to the information or the lack of access we had information for. You know what I mean? Like, this thing is just, it should be waking a lot of us up, and it should hopefully allow us all to think back generations and see where we are now because of what happened back then. This is just a little old thing we can't see.
What time are you referring to, sir?
I'm referring to the whips and the chains.
Okay.
But also the amendments, the more structured laws, the more vigorous law. Like, amendment is law times 20. That you don't change amendments. The amendments that were being written, the information they was keeping.
You want to say hi? He doesn't.
No, that's my young boy though. Yeah. That's the fast twin.
Go upstairs. Go upstairs.
Go to sleep, young boy.
Yeah,
dude. That's my young boy. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is just like, it's really exposing a lot. It's exposing a lot with job security, exposing a lot with what are we really here supposed to be doing, virtual businesses, entrepreneurship, partnering.
You got to do more of. That's the only way.
The importance of environment, you being around the right person, the 3 E's, element, energy, environment. You already know how I feel about those.
Yeah.
Are you around a group of people that are working towards something?
Mm-hmm.
The economic structure, like, this thing is ballooning.
Huge.
And the pandemic is the air in the balloon, and the balloon is the United States of America.
Yep, but I told you, this is all about.
Yo, that's crazy. What do you say?
Fortunately, I told you from the beginning. Unfortunately, and this is not to take away from anybody who's, loved ones, family members, and all that.
You got the last word. You end this. We're gonna.
This is about economics.
Okay.
Boom. In a nutshell, this is about. You don't believe me? Look at the long-term effects from this. Like I said, not being insensitive. Pray for everybody who's lost a family member, loved one, friend.
Real. It's getting closer to a lot of people you know. Yeah.
But long-term, what they don't talk about, even when you watch the news, they don't talk about the long-term effects this is going to have on the health of America. It's all about the economy. It's all about businesses. It's all about the job security or lack thereof now. It's all about the U.S. dollar now, not being backed by gold, now being, trying to be backed by gold so that it can compete. And the oil prices are lower than they may go down to $1.50 in some place. Like, this is about economics. Economics. Money. Sad to say, that's the world we live in. That's the truth. We ain't gonna lie to you, make it sound fly to you.
Right? Health insurance in these Black communities and these like
I'm telling you.
I'm sick. I gotta go to this carryout though, and I gotta get me a cheesesteak and my Takis.
Oh man, I wish.
I can't go get my the stuff I need to be eating. And what I just said, honestly, is just the minute level of the issues.
But it's important though, because that's the mindset.
It is. So everybody, all I'm going to tell y'all with my non-professional expert opinion, but a person who researches, and with Patton, who's lost, how many pounds did you lose? What's the most pounds you lost at one time?
Jesus. 80.
So fine. Stop right there. It don't even matter.
Yeah.
Somebody that's taken his life into account. We've made those nutrition changes. Stay safe by social distancing for real.
Yeah, honestly.
God will love you and be with you as long as you are with him. I don't know if that means that he needs to be in a social environment, especially if you believe in the blood of the cross and you believe in the blood of the stories that I'm referring to. If you are a Christian, you are protected. The church is there for a reason.
You don't need to be in the physical building.
And so I'm gonna leave that there. But like I said, social distancing, let's practice that. Get your diet together, get your nutrition together. Spend this time with your family, but come out of this time with ideas pertaining to business, but also self-awareness. Behind the negative thoughts, be aware of the negative thoughts. Be the awareness behind those thoughts that come into your head. That's how deep this needs to get now.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, this is serious, everybody. This is the beginning stages of it. Hopefully it's going to end sooner rather than later, but we're not God. Only thing we can do is prepare to be the God within ourselves, activate that, activate our consciousness, and take care of our environment because God has us having dominion over where we are. Patton, you got to protect your household. I'm just me in my apartment, but I'm aware of here too for me. It's that alignment. What is it? The in between the ears, heart. Got that nice little mind. And got that heart connection. That's what I'm working on right now by myself. Patton's take care of his family, but Patton's also working on the business that we're starting too.
Yeah.
So guys, everybody stay safe, man.
Yeah, please.
This thing is not subjective. This thing attacks everybody equally. And you don't want it to hit you to wake you up. And that's one of the things I think our country does a lot. We just wait for it to hit us personally. And like, oh, now I'm awake. No. Do stuff now. And we're not saying if you do stuff now, it's not going to eventually hurt you, or we're not going to say you're going to be immune to it. But we are just saying do your due diligence. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Social distancing, wear your mask, wear your gloves and wear them correctly. Take them off, wash your hands. Don't take your gloves and touch your face and then touch your phone and then touch your doorknob. This is just a conduit. This is just a cesspool of germs. And everybody, we can go into deeper with this, but I just felt like this was needed. There's a pandemic stacking on top of epidemics here based off of history. And it's just exposing them again. So everybody stay safe. Pat, and I'm gonna hit you up in a few minutes real quick to close out. But everybody stay safe, make moves, move markets. God blesses the work. And yeah, just stay safe, guys. Let's not be, I don't know what the right word is. What is the right word? Let's not think we're impervious to this. Let's just do our due diligence. And
I mean, it's ignorant. Yeah, let's not be ignorant to it.
And ignorant just means not to know. We know.
That's all.
Okay. All right, guys. Stay safe. God bless y'all. We will see y'all later. We out.
Peace.